set out to see what Lagos City is all about. The noise, the sights and the hustle and bustle of this business hub. The Lagos experience is addictive, mainly because of its atmosphere, which is fast-paced, dynamic and culturally rich. Of course, common knowledge is that Lagos may not be the ideal city to go sightseeing. But as we drive on, there are a few places that catch the eye. Like the Muri-Okunala Park, where the state government has created a space where one can experience a serene and green atmosphere in the middle of island traffic. Or the Marina Walk, where you can go for walks or have a picnic with the lagoon on one side and the backdrop of the busy Lagos Island on the other. Or the National Theatre, built in 1977 and designed in the shape of an officer's hat by Bulgarian architects. We explore further into Lagos Island, the city's busy central business district. Though it began as a small farming community, it is one of the busiest parts of Lagos today, characterized by tall commercial buildings and bustling marketplaces. But surprisingly, the island is quite rich historically, as it is home to some of the oldest buildings and sites in the country, like the Holy Cross Cathedral, built by French priest Father Simon in 1932 on the site of a church that was built in 1878 by former slaves who had converted to Catholicism in Brazil. And the Central Mosque, which was rebuilt in the 1980s to cater for the Muslim population in the area. We meet with Mr. Lawson, one of the developers participating in restoring some of the oldest sites on Lagos Island.
Lagos Island essentially was a major trading route, trading port. It lent itself, first of all, traders from Edo and the hinterland came in here to sell their wares to then the visiting merchants who came to buy and go for export. Subsequently, merchants established their shops and operation businesses on the Marina, and gradually Lagos started expanding as a major commercial center.
Touring the Brazilian quarters where most of the returning slaves from Brazil settled, you will find most of their buildings destroyed, but you can always see the remnants of the Brazilian architecture in some other buildings. We visit the site of what was formerly a prison where the colonial masters jailed criminals, but what is now known as the Freedom Park. The state government is now restoring the prison so that people can come and relax as they take in the history of the park.
First of all, where I started off, we had the merchants, then from merchants you had the missionaries, then you brought government. To establish their role, their order and their government in Lagos, it was important to enforce law and order. So the British had the constabulary forces, which comprised mostly of Hausa officers or soldiers, soldiers, and they established what was then the Lagos jail, which was built in mud walls in 1875. Further down the line, in 1885, they imported at the cost of £16,000 bricks from England and established the new Lagos prisons. Broad Street prisons, and it was in the heart of government because you had the old government houses out there. You had the General Hospital, you had the Secretariat, the old Secretariat, and beyond that you had essentially the Brazilian quarters, who were the main interface between the British and the locals.
At the heart of Lagos Island is Tinubu Square, surrounded by busy stores and shops selling textiles and other materials, and at the center is the Independence Fountain. Next to the square is the Central Bank of Nigeria, which was built over the Supreme Court that was demolished in 1959, the Central Police Station, and former residence of Herbert Macaulay, a key player in the struggle for independence. The Ayo statue at the center of another part of Lagos Island is a symbol of one of the major cultural beliefs of Lagosians, the Ayo masquerade, what is believed to be a spiritual being in a mask, covered in flowing white robes, wearing colorful hats and carrying bamboo sticks which it uses to bless or beat.